It's time for your statewide Alabama weathercast.
Good morning, I'm meteorologist McCombs with the Alabama Weather Network, and this is your statewide forecast update for this Saturday morning. And we start off with quiet conditions across Alabama, but you can see that there are showers and some rain heading in our direction, crossing the Mississippi River at this point. But at this point, we still have just some clouds, high clouds moving in, but dry across the state. We expect to stay dry across most of the state, at least the southern part of the state, throughout the day today. We'll expect to see some showers later on this afternoon into the evening, but it'll take a little while for the atmosphere to moisten up enough to really allow those showers to fall, because we do have a very dry air mass in place. And we see that here looking at our Skycam tour. So starting off in Florence at the Renaissance Shoals, and you can see it's 39 degrees, so we've gotten chilly again this morning. A lot of places hitting freezing or below again. Dew points though at 20 degrees, so again, we're still seeing very dry air in place over especially the northern part of the state. Got a little bit of a breeze there, occasionally gusting up to around 23 miles per hour there in Florence. As we move to the east in Huntsville, it's 34 degrees there, and see the dew points in the teens there, 15 degrees. So again, very dry air. It's going to take a little bit to overcome that. Even if some showers start to show up on radar, good chance a lot of that's not going to be reaching the ground for the first few hours that we see that later on this afternoon and evening. Looking further to the south at the Region Center in downtown Birmingham, looking back towards Red Mountain, it's 39 degrees there. Dew points in the teens as well. Beautiful view there, blue skies, and a few higher clouds moving in. Shifting down to Mount Cheaha, beautiful view there as is typical. And you can see again just some high clouds here and there mixed in with the blue skies. And as we move further down to Montgomery, to the capital city, it's 40 degrees there. And again, dry air in place. But as we move further to the south, we'll see the dew points will go up just a little bit as we get closer to the coast. And you can see that looking at Gulf Shores, we're now seeing a dew point of 39 degrees. So we will see the moisture start to creep back in, but it won't be a huge difference before this next system comes in. Because it just won't have we're not expecting as much rainfall with this system coming in for tomorrow mainly. 49 degrees is the temperature right now. Beautiful view there at Gulf Shore. So our low temperatures today, again, we got down into the 20s in some spots. Got down to 24 degrees in Gadsden. And we actually hit 29 in Montgomery and Greenville, Troy. So 28 in Eufaula. So we actually got down into the upper 20s again in a good portion of the state, and most places hitting freezing or below, and especially the southern kind of northern 3/4 of the state, but only got down to 41 degrees in Gulf Shore. So here's what we're watching for this weekend is clouds increase today and rain returns tomorrow. Now, again, like I mentioned, you could see some showers in North Alabama this evening and later on after that, but it really gets going more later, kind of overnight into Sunday. And then, again, we don't expect extreme rain totals with this. This will be fairly light rain totals with this system coming through over the next 24 hours. Better rain chances and more rain expected as we get into Monday night and to Tuesday. That could be some fairly significant rainfall for especially the southern kind of half of the state, which we certainly could use. Temperatures right now have warmed up just a little bit in some spots, but not a whole lot yet. We're still pretty early. It's 35 in Birmingham. It's still 29 degrees in Gadsden, so we're still sitting in the 20s there in the northeastern part of the state. It's 39 in Thomasville. It's 40 in Monroeville. It is a little bit warmer than this time yesterday in most spots. You can see it's 10 degrees warmer in Tuscaloosa, 11 degrees warmer in Hamilton. A good portion of the state, 5 or so degrees warmer. A few spots that are actually a little bit chillier, but generally it's been a slightly warmer start this morning than yesterday morning. Forecast highs today, we expect to be a little bit warmer than yesterday, but not a ton. But expecting getting into the low 50s across a good portion of the northern part of the state, upper 40s maybe still only in places like Hamilton and Coleman, and then maybe around 60 degrees in places like Troy, Eufaula, and in Andalusia and Geneva could get in almost to the mid 60s and almost 70 degrees potentially in Gulf Shores. Again, we'll expect to see some sunshine and the atmospheric moisture increasing a little bit in the southern part of the state, but not expecting showers yet today, and so that will help to warm up things a little bit in that part of the state. Here's your Iron Bowl forecast. It's looking good, not expecting any rain. Again, any showers today would be in the northern part of the state, so we expect the Iron Bowl is going to be totally dry, but chilly. You definitely want to bring probably your coat with you because we'll expect to kind of hang in the upper 40s during the course of the game, and not going to see the temperature move a whole lot. It'll be kind of mostly cloudy generally throughout the game. But just a little bit chilly out there, but no issues with rain. Forecast lows for tonight then, we'll get down again into generally the 30s in the northern part of the state, 34 degrees in Coleman, 39 in Tuscaloosa, further to the south, places like Atmore getting the upper 40s, 53 degrees in Mobile, so 40s and 50s in South Alabama. Looking at our futurecast, so we'll kind of move through time here. So as we get into this afternoon, again, showers could start to show up on the radar, but it's going to take a little while for the atmosphere to moisten up enough to see that reach the ground. So probably going to see some virga early on. South Alabama staying dry during that time with temperatures in the 50s and 60s. As we look at kind of near the Iron Bowl kickoff time, you can see Auburn sitting at 49 degrees there. No rain around, no showers around there. But as we move through that, you see it just kind of generally stays in those upper 40s. Then as we get into tomorrow morning, that's where we expect the showers to really start to move in earnest, where we see decent rain potentially, or at least some moderate rain in spots like Tuscaloosa and up towards Birmingham. Over the course of the day, it looks like the showers should sort of fade away a little bit as the front moves further to the south and kind of washes out. So as it gets down into south central Alabama, maybe not expecting to see much rain left. And by the time we get into the afternoon and evening, there may only just be a few scattered showers left for South Alabama. So again, for the southern part of the state especially, not expecting much out of this system coming through over the next 24 hours. But you can see then that we start to see some showers still lingering around Monday morning in South Alabama. Now that's kind of a new thing here. We're expecting a little bit of a dry out period, and it still won't be a lot of rain during that time period, but it still could be some lingering showers and some cloud cover Monday in the south part of the state. North part of the state should stay mostly dry during the early part of Monday, but then as we get into Monday evening, then we have the rain building back in, and this is the start of the period where we could see some fairly heavy rainfall totals, and it'll be a cold rain as well. You can see, notice that the temperatures will be in the 40s in many spots, 50s. So this will be a cold, good rain, of course, across a good portion of the state. As we move into the overnight period, Tuesday morning, heavy rain across a lot of the state, southern Alabama, eastern Alabama, again, kind of a cold rain. And this is where we really expect we could get some good rainfall totals. And then by we get into Tuesday morning, when you might be heading out to work again and to school, it's mostly cleared the state. So there could still be some lingering showers. Timing could be a little bit different than this, a little bit later, but generally it's looking like a lot of the rain's going to be falling overnight, kind of in the early morning period on Tuesday and clearing out after that. And then Wednesday looks like we'll dry out for at least a day or so, and maybe also into Thursday as well. There's still some uncertainty with when we see looking past that. Heavy rainfall outlook, again, looking at the period kind of Monday evening through Tuesday morning, you can see that there is a outlook for a decent chance of some heavy rainfall, at least a marginal chance for heavy rainfall across a good portion of the state, especially the southern part of the state for Monday. So again, we're expecting to see some pretty good rain totals, and we could certainly use it. And you see pretty much the entire state expected to get more than an inch of rain or an inch or more of rain across the whole state for the next 7 days. And then that little bullseye area across south central Alabama could get 2 or 3 inches of rain. And so, again, we could certainly use that, and we want to get every bit of that we can. Looking at your airport delays, wanted to talk about travel since this is a big travel weekend after the Thanksgiving holiday, and you can see that we're starting to see some delays with some of the weather here. You got the Chicago Airport ORD, O'Hare, it's got major delays, and it looks like we've got some closings in a few spots where potentially Nashville is having some issues and Dallas-Fort Worth, and so we're seeing some issues starting to crop up with some of those airports out there, so be aware of that if you're going to be doing some traveling later on today. Impacts Saturday from the weather, higher impacts from places like Dallas up towards St. Louis and Chicago with this big winter weather system to the north. Again, we're not going to be seeing anything but rain, but places to the north are going to be seeing quite a bit of snow up there in the Great Lakes area in the Midwest. As we look at tomorrow, that winter weather threat shifts a little bit further to the east so that you see that more in the northeast where there could be some impacts there, and a little bit better chance of heavier rain further to the south along the Gulf Coast where you could see a little bit more impacts in travel from that rain there along the Gulf Coast. All right, your 7-day forecast for the northern half of Alabama. So again, for today, just a very small chance of a few showers in the northern part of the state over the course of the afternoon and evening, and then we ramp up the chances as we get later in the evening into Sunday morning, and then things start to clear out after that, and then that next round Monday night into Tuesday morning, where we expect more substantial rainfall across a good portion of the area. Temperatures in the upper 40s, low 50s for the highs. Lows still in the 30s and 40s, so still kind of chilly in the mornings. And then again, Wednesday and Thursday we'll get a little bit of a break before we have rain chances increasing on Friday again. For the southern half of Alabama, today should be a nice day, getting into the low 60s with kind of partly cloudy to mostly cloudy skies. And then again, as we get into early Sunday, a few showers moving through over the course of the day, but it shouldn't be a lot of rain. But then we really get our best chance of rain, where we could see some significant rainfall Monday night into Tuesday. And so we'll be looking for that there. And then again, kind of a little bit of a dry period for a day or two, Wednesday and Thursday. But temperatures generally in the 60s for the highs in the southern part of the state. Well, that is your Alabama forecast update. We appreciate you watching us here on the Alabama Weather Network.